Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Leadership Purpose with Dr. Robin podcast. I'm so glad you're here and listening into the podcast. I say it all the time and I will continue to say it. I really appreciate you for listening in because without you, there will be no podcast. And because of you, we've been ranked in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, according to Listen Notes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And so continue to help us and go ahead and review and subscribe to the podcast. That would be a great help. All right. Now, today is a solo episode that I do from time to time where I'm going to have a candid conversation with you today because there's a moment that so many high achieving women, especially women in leadership, eventually experience, and no one talks about it. It's not burnout. It's not failure. It's not a breakdown. It's the moment when everything in your life looks successful, but on the inside, something begins to shift. Something begins to whisper. It says, this chapter of my life or career isn't aligned anymore. It says, I've changed. It says, I want something deeper, something truer. And because women like you are capable, grounded, responsible, and deeply self aware, you almost feel guilty for noticing it. So today, we're going to talk about this moment, a quiet crossroads that happens inside a woman long before anything changes on the outside. Because the truth is, this moment isn't a problem. This moment is the beginning of your next chapter. Let's start right here. There's a shift that happens in a woman's life when she has outgrown the version of herself that built her current career or success. And that shift is subtle. You don't make a dramatic announcement. You don't wake up one morning and say, everything must change. Instead, you start to feel it. Maybe you're sitting in a meeting, looking around the table, and suddenly thinking, I've done this. I've mastered this. I'm not growing here anymore. Or you drive home from work and feel a strange hollowness, even though nothing is wrong. Or you realize that things you used to push for, fight for, and strive for don't feel like you anymore. You haven't lost ambition. Your ambition is evolving. You haven't lost direction. Your direction is deepening. You're not lost. You're actually becoming more true to who you are. That is the shift. Here's what I've learned from working closely with women in leadership. Women who lead feel this shift earlier than everyone else, sometimes years earlier. Why? Because you're emotionally intelligent, because you're intuitive, because you've had to hold so much, navigate so much, and lead so much that you've developed an inner radar most people never cultivate. So you feel your evolution before you can explain it. You sense the misalignment before it becomes obvious. You know without knowing how you know that something in your career or in your life needs to change. Not because you're just unfulfilled, but because you're expanding, you're evolving, you're expanding. Most women try to push that feeling down because they don't want to seem ungrateful, because they've worked so hard to get here, because everyone around them sees them as the strong one, the capable one, the woman who always has a plan. But here's the truth: the woman who built the career or life you're living may not be the woman who's meant to lead your next chapter. And that's not a loss, that's an evolution. Okay, let's take a quick pause here. I just want to say if you are a woman in leadership and you've been feeling that quiet shift inside, that sense you've outgrown a chapter and you're craving more clarity, more direction, more purpose alignment, then I want to invite you to something special. I'm creating a brand new clarity experience designed specially for women in leadership who are navigating a career crossroads. And before it launches, I'm opening a small, intimate, early access circle where you'll get to shape the very first version of it. So if this season of your career is asking for deeper clarity, go to robinlowens.com/waitlist and request early access. That's robinlowens.com/waitlist. Okay, now back to the episode. This is where the crossroads usually begins. You're still successful, you're still admired, people still come to you for answers. Your performance hasn't slipped, your competence hasn't changed, your life isn't falling apart. But something inside you is quietly saying, I'm done holding this version of myself together. And it shows up as a restlessness you can't shake, or it shows up as emotional exhaustion that rest can't cure, or it shows up as a desire for more meaning, not more accomplishments, or a shift in tolerance. Things you once accepted feel impossible now, or it shows up as a longing for something you can't quite articulate yet. This gap, or what I call this purpose gap, the one between your outer life and your inner truth, becomes impossible to ignore. Not because everything is falling apart, but because everything is calling you forward. Let me say something clearly. You don't need a breakdown to be ready for a breakthrough. So many women think if I'm not miserable, if I'm not burned out, if everything looks fine, then I shouldn't want anything to change. But the desire for change doesn't come from misery. It comes from maturity. It comes from awareness. It comes from evolution. The most powerful transitions in a woman's life are usually quiet. They start with internal truth long before an external decision. So you don't need to hit a wall. You don't need to fall apart. You don't need a dramatic exit. Sometimes the crossroads looks like this. I'm grateful, but I'm just not aligned. And that is more than enough. There's a version of you, a deeper, more aligned, more true to you version that is trying to emerge. And she has different priorities. She has different boundaries. She has different desires. She has different truths. She is not exhausted by ambition. She is guided by purpose. She is not chasing validation. She is listening inward. She's not performing who she used to be. She is becoming who she actually is. This version of you doesn't want more success. She wants the right success. She wants a next chapter that reflects her expansion, her evolution, not her past. And once this awakening starts inside you, you cannot unfeel it. So if you take nothing else from this episode, take this. You are not at a crossroads because you're confused. You are not at a crossroads because you're confused. I just wanted to repeat that. You're at a crossroads because you're ready. Readiness often feels like discomfort, not chaos, but restlessness, not panic, but misalignment, not fear, but a gentle insistence that something more true is calling. This is not the end of a chapter. This is the beginning of your next one. You are not falling behind. You are not starting over. You are not outgrowing success. You are outgrowing misalignment. And that is one of the most powerful moments in a woman's life. Okay, now, if this episode spoke to you, I mean, like really, truly spoke to you, I want to share something important. Over the past few months, I've been building something specifically for women like you, women in leadership, women who've achieved so much, women who are standing at a quiet crossroads and want clarity without changing their whole lives, women who want direction, women who want alignment, women who want purpose, and a way forward that feels true. So I'm creating an experience designed to help you navigate this exact season. And before it launches, I'm opening a small, intimate, early access circle that I call the Clarity Circle, where you'll get early access to the experience, the ability to shape what it becomes, a private and exclusive workshop, and a guided space for your own clarity. So if you're feeling a pull in your heart, in your chest right now, that's for a reason. So you can request early access on my website, robinlowens.com/waitlist. That's robinlowens.com/waitlist. So if you feel called, trust that. Some crossroads aren't loud. They're quiet, subtle, internal, but they're also sacred. They are the moments where a woman begins recognizing the truth about who she is and who she's becoming. And if you're here listening to this, feeling something inside you move, you're not lost, you're not late, and you're not behind. You're evolving. You are right on time. So thank you for listening, and we'll go deeper into this in our next episode. In the meantime, this is Dr. Robin.